Hello, everyone, and welcome to the energy update here on the Astroflower. Yes, it is late, and there is a reason for it. Yeah, I've been trying to do this energy update for the past 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Monday was the 30th, and I was, and I did this, I had this message from the Earth and everything. That was a nice message, but it was all to do with timing and so forth. And what I didn't realize is that I was trying to get the energy update done, and I said it in the weekly readings on the Astroflower for the tarot readings, and I said just be careful not to get ahead of yourself within the rhythm of life because you can get frustrated, and that's exactly what I did. So I got a little bit frustrated, and I got a little bit sort of kind of going, why is this energy update not gelling, not working, not and I think I got on the Tuesday morning when I was in the meditation, and I got the message sort of saying, "You're not even listening to yourself." And I was just kind of like, I had a massive piece of humble pie, basically, to listen to myself and realize that I was not listening to my own self. And it happens. Sometimes we get caught up in the whole sort of like blinkered a little bit into the whole sort of thing. And I started listening to myself, and then energy said to me, wait, wait. And the reason I've been waiting is because of that X flare to come through, because that changed totally the energy. And as I've been saying for months, I think that we'll have that energy that's going to be a little bit, we're going to be in a lull right up through to October, mid-October. I actually had it pinned from between the 6th and the 20th, but it seems like it's kicked in already, and that's why I should have been waiting, and I should have been waiting for the changes of the vibration in order to give a better energy update. So here it is, finally, with your energy update. So let's just see what's been going on with the sun over the past few days. Here you can see just above me here, this is the X-ray flux, and it was all sort of, it was bumping the M flare all the time, but nothing really fantastic, no major flares coming off and what have you. And then we had this M flare here, which started changing the frequency a little bit and the energies a little bit. And then we had this big X flare here that kicked off on the evening of, I think it was Monday, Tuesday sort of time, a couple of days ago. And since then, we've had some, nice size M flares as well. But still at the same time, nothing in the way of ejector really coming in our direction. And it's much more electric more than anything else. And I think this is where it's going to take the air energy to another level. Just below it here, you've got the KP index, which is equivalent of the magnetic field of the Earth. It's a little bit like the aura of the Earth. Very stable at the moment. Yes, I think we're going to have some fluctuations in that in the next sort of 2 or 3 days as that wave of energy passes through Earth. And it's obviously going to affect the Earth itself and obviously affect ourselves. And I think this is where it's going to be sort of saying, okay, we've been preparing, you've been sorting things out, you've been seeing and observing. This is what we were talking about in the energy updates. You've been observing what's been going on in the world around you and seeing how your energy sort of plays with the world. And it's been a beautiful time to explore and understand those sort of things. But now is a time, once that energy is really starting to come through, is to convert those ideas into reality. So we're looking at a page of swords, if you understand the tarots, page of swords sort of scenario of learning how to apply that in the world. Let's just see those X flares and just see what sort of happened to them. This is the sun here over the past week. Let me just play it through for you. And what we're concerned about are these sections here. Let me just grab my pipe, that's a little bit easier to show. These section here, these pearls of sunspots here, which give off a various different amount of flares. And that's where you can see this big X flare coming off on this sunspot around here. And that was coming off around about the 1st. So let's just take it back to that. You can see that sort of, let me try and stop it in the right position where you get that. There you go. There's that X sort of thing going on with that real big flash. There it happened there on that section there. Yeah, it will be giving some sort of ejector in our way, in our direction. But there is also sort of filament energies that have been erupted and etc. Let's just go through that again. You can see there's filament eruptions that I think it's in this section here, or is it just below in this section here? You can see these filaments that are erupting, and that's going to bring in a little bit of emotional energy, a little bit of water energy, and so forth. But it's mainly about sort of igniting the air with a bit of, I would say a little bit of fire, not too much, but making the air a lot more potent, a lot more, you might find that your intuition, like you think of someone and then they automatically message you. So there's a lot of that sort of thing going on at the moment with the air energy, and I think that's going to pick up. So then therefore you've got to be very attentive for your mental health and so forth going forward, making sure you do things that also bring you pleasure in life, but also bring you sort of calm and tranquility, whichever it is. Could be painting, drawing, music, photography, running, sport, sort of walking, whatever it is, just to sort of have that balance in life, I think is really, really important. So yeah, there you go. That's the general sort of energies that are coming this way. Nothing really to worry about in regards to the earth and regards to us. I don't think there's any threatening stuff going on. I will say one thing as well, and that is about the hurricanes that went through. The hurricane, the big Helena. All our thoughts go out to the people out there. I hope you get the support finally that you so deserve from your the governance that are around you. You don't seem to be getting that by all means and standards, by the looks of things. So I hope you get a lot more sort of help in that sort of section there. My thoughts and prayers go out to all you people out there. But there is also a lot going on in the Atlantic as well in regards to that air energy. Let me just show you through that. So here we have null school going on here. And these show the wind maps across the globe. And what we're looking at is these sort of eruptions these because this is it. The Earth is doing exactly the same thing as the sun, and we are doing the same thing as the Earth. And there's eruptions that are coming through us as well. And it ties into particular types of energy. But this is mainly about the air energy. You'll see that there's something that forms down in southern Mexico in this section here. And then you also have these that actually kick off in the middle of the Atlantic that could breed into hurricanes. But I think because of pole shift, I think they're going to come out and they're going to get pulled back into the UK, into northern Europe, so there could be a bit of storms going on there. But as you can well see, as we progress, this one here particularly gets very gnarly and almost double the size to Helena that went through in the United States. And you've got that through Florida and so forth. And you've got that little one that's growing in this section there. It's just made landfall on Friday. That should make landfall on Friday. But you can see here this storm here just gradually heading north into the Atlantic, and it seems like it's going to build up into a big storm that's going to hit the UK at some point, and you may even well have we come to the end of the prediction, as it were. It goes right up through to the 8th of October. This is what they're predicting. And I think it's going to sort of, I think it will fly into the UK. But that's all to do with pole shift as well, that the changing elements of how the earthquake or the hurricanes go normally into the Caribbean and into America. And we might find that as we go through the pole shift, there's going to be we will find that there's going to be a lot more that goes into Northern Europe and into the UK. So yeah, it's all about the air. That's what's sort of playing it in, and it's picking up with that sort of static electricity with those flares at the moment. Those flaring that should be happening I would have said for the next sort of 2, 3, 4, maybe even up to around about sort of 6 weeks, really, where we get continual periods of 2 or 3 days where it's quite intense. And I think that's only going to pick up over the next sort of month and a half. And I think that's going to be the end of the high cycle of the sun. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the messages from the earth, the chakra sequencing, and dowsing the energy lines here in the Northern Hemisphere. Don't forget about your weekly readings coming out on Thursday, that's today, for the earth signs, Friday for water, Saturday for fire, and Sunday for air. In the meantime, let's just go and have a look, see what's going out on the lines. Hello everyone and welcome outside. I've just dowsed the line. Obviously in the Northern Hemisphere it's reduced incredibly because of the solstice, or the equinox, sorry. And yeah, it seems to be very solid line. It seems to be, the energy doesn't seem to be, it's not jumping around, which is, it seems to be like a driving river. It's like there's been a lot of rain and the rivers are swollen, as it were. But obviously the width of the river doesn't change because it hasn't broken its banks. It's just actually got a lot more water going through there. And that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm sitting on a male line, and it really does feel like it's pushing a lot more I would say more sort of our connection to everything. And I think this is really essential. And as you well saw earlier on, how about I forgot about my connection to the energies, and we all do it, don't worry. It all goes wrong at some point, you know, even when you've been doing this sort of thing for the last 30 years, it still sort of goes wrong. So yeah, you've got this energy that seems to be constant. It seems like an army marching on, or a machine just constantly going, as it were. Let's just get the chakra sequencing going on. So, connection to the line, there we go. Okay, there we instantly feel the starting point. Got the root and the crown chakra playing in together, which is quite nice. And then it comes up into the solar plexus, very, very solid solar plexus there, really driving force. And then the sacrum, so it goes solar plexus into the sacrum, so it's all about fundamental desires, getting the fundamental desires into action, putting things into action, as it were, taking the courage by both hands, as it were. And then there's a little bit on the third eye and the throat chakra. It's not massive, I wouldn't say. Very light more than anything else. And it's almost like a guiding thing. So if you imagine like a sailing boat, obviously sailing boats, its main components are sort of the sails and the boat. But then, you know, it's the rudder that really gives us the direction. And I think this is where it's very subtle through the intuition, which is going to give you the direction. And I would be very attentive to coincidences that are happening around you at the moment. You know, people turn up at you know, you're just thinking about them and they turn up, and that sort of thing. Just allow you to practice with your sort of, with your intuition, and that can allow you to also sort of push the limits of your manifestation sort of energies, really, more than anything else. And don't forget, when you're trying to manifest something, you know, the manifestation, you got to take everything into account. You may see a lot of it correctly, but you will not be able to see everything 100%. Sometimes it happens, but you know, just leave a little space for life to actually be involved in your life as well. So yeah, that seems to be that. I haven't felt any other chakra that's sort of come through. The returning point has already come back to me. That's the solar plexus that's releasing itself. And it seems to be that sort of driving force. Okay, so let's just reconnect, and what we're going to do is we're going to get a message from the earth. So reconnecting to that energy there, following that line to that church that's just behind me. I'm going to use that as a crossing point. Up into the church, the crossing point, down into the vortex, down into the center of the earth. I'm looking at the center of the earth. Okay, so there is still a lot of white energy, so intense energy. It seems to be, bizarrely enough, more on the northern hemisphere, and that could possibly have something to do with pole shift sort of energies as well, because I would have thought it would be more in the southern hemisphere. But there is a lot of sort of orange and sort of red, sort of orangey sort of thing, and I think that's where the solar plexus and the sacrum really comes into alignment. Have a look at the earthquakes on USGS website, and I think you'll find that in North America there's a lot of smallish earthquakes that's kicking off, certainly around about the sacrum area, which is Mount Shasta. Okay, let's just get back into where the sun is. Let's get a connection to that, and let's get a message from the earth. It's almost sort of saying it's not going to suffer fools gladly. You should know, if you've been paying attention to how you have interacted with life, how you use your energies, how you allow your emotions to play within your life, then therefore you should be able to sort of enact a lot of things that, you know, so you can create a lot of things for yourself. You can be very creative in the world that is around you in the regards of energy, and that's going to help you to push on sort of like your sort of career path and so forth. But it's sort of saying here, you should know, therefore you should get on and do. And that seems to be the message that's sort of coming through from the earth at the moment, and it's very, very firm. It's not kind of going, oh, if it'd be nice if you could. It's very sort of like, come on, get on and get moving, get doing. The time is now, as it were. So obviously there's going to be, as I said, a lot more energy coming through, I think, which is going to help us to sort of be a bit more vibrant over the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks. Let's just see if there's anything else that comes in from that. What about the earth? Is there anything in particular? It says something about money. I don't know what's going to happen maybe in October, something about money or situation. And I think this also ties in maybe to these sort of like these stupid idiots that actually think knocking hell's bells out of each other is a solution. What? You know, how old are you? Grow up, people. It's absolutely amazing. It is mind-blowing how the idea of destruction can be a solution. It is just so ludicrous. And I think the earth is recognizing that, and she's getting a bit peed off with it all, having to constantly repeat it, and people not really listening. So, you know, yeah, it's certainly very strong energies that are coming through. There's just sort of like anything else in particular from that. I'm looking at a solar flare on the northern hemisphere. That'd be interesting in around about the 17th of October. So you heard it here first. Keep an eye out for that. Okay, let's just see. I'll get my vortex back. Let's find where that is. There's a connection there, connecting to the vortex, going up into the church, coming back down the line, and then into the body. Okay, a parting message from that is as well, you know, the best way to deal with it all, I think, all of this sort of like tension in the world, is to be happy, give an alternative, you know, give another option to the human species to turn around and sort of say, actually, I want that, you know. And I think if we do that, then obviously it will then show people up who are not really looking to build a better world, but actually to destroy a lot of things. Show them up for what they really are, maybe, you know. Okay, strange times we are in. Anytime, anything, anyway, I'll get there in a minute. Anyway, there you go. That's been your energy update. Don't forget about your weekly readings coming up this week. Obviously, we'll be going into how these solar flares are going to be affecting your petals in this coming week for your tarot reading. Earth signs Thursday, water signs Friday, Saturday fires, Sunday airs. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.